All right. So we are back. We are back. We are back. Stop that. Stop that. Okay, what am oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. Sorry, folks. Still getting things around. Sorry, folks. Still getting things around. Sorry, folks. Still getting things around. I don't know why it's echoing. I don't know why it's echoing. Okay. That. Mm, okay. That. Mm, okay. That. Mute. Thank you. With them muted now? All right. Let's get this set up. Edit video. Get everything up and running. I have no idea why it keeps going to Samus because it's not what I'm streaming. Oh. That's not what I'm. Okay, whatever. Did it update? There we go. Okay. Okay. So, welcome, chat. It's been a while. And yeah, I can say for sake of argument, it's been quite a while since I've been online. Well, 3 days. Basically finishing up and stuff. Anyway, Before I briefly jump into the game, which I'll put it this way. In order to get into the game, you need a hope and a dream. There we go. All right. Now, we are ready. Everyone ready? Yeah. So before we get started, a quick recap. We have several things from this morning. And then we're going to jump into the sales page craziness. First, this is yesterday. All right.
Patience. It's not passive. Not idle. It's quiet preparation. Sharpened intention. Resolute. To watch and wait.
That's better. Very much better.
So, you hold. Against haste. Beyond fear. Because you trust.
Gotta love these big ships.
From that quiet, your moment will come.
At your command, Aegis Idris. And today, the behemoth arrived.
I never thought I'd be that guy. The one who...
Oops. Yeah, I didn't ask for that. But after that, be the Idris P.
What is the Idris?
It's a big bloody spaceship. The Aegis for me was almost like the second stepping stone of 100% belief that we could make this project a reality. We took the concept off Ryan Church many years ago. I think it was one of the first ones that got developed for the game. Huge undertaking across the board. And when I first saw that taking off in that demo with the crew on board, it was a true sort of like, okay, we can do this, we can deliver on the promise that Chris had envisioned, you know, several years before.
The Idris is a frigate used by the UAE Navy, but it was also available to civilians in a sort of wide range of specifications.
I actually like that sandstone color.
It's one of the
That's a nice
more
color.
sought after ships that people have wanted to use in the universe for just one of the longest times at this point.
It has enough crew and provisions on board to support long duration patrols. It has plenty of armament to defend itself.
I love that
attack
paint.
forces,
That is awesome.
and is on board for a wide range of ships. There are multiple versions of the Idris, the most popular being the Idris P, the P standing for Peacekeeper. This is the civilianized version of the Idris. It trades some of the prior military assets for increased cargo storage. At its core, it is essentially a flying hangar with all the crew facilities around that.
What it's very good at, though, is killing things.
It starts with a front upper manned turret, which is size 5. This is swappable, which we'll talk about in a bit. Then there are 7 additional size 5 turrets spread across the top and bottom of the ship.
These are
Nice.
perfect for dealing with mid-sized targets and give you fantastic coverage across the whole ship from all the different angles they could approach you from.
Whilst they are lasers by default, you can swap them to a wide variety of other weapons in the game.
But that's not all the firepower that the ship has to offer. It also has 4 remote turrets, which are size 4, which are a little bit better at dealing with more agile fighters.
Good. So there's
Point in the
9
game, we're looking at
turrets.
having a
If I'm
minimum
counting
12
right.
people on an Idris P
9?
to fully crew just the weapons.
So make sure you've got plenty of friends to tag along.
Yeah.
Obviously, flying a ship this big with this much armament makes yourself a big target, and for that reason, the Idris comes with 11 point defense system hardpoints. These are the exact same point defense system weapons that you've seen on ships like the Polaris and 890 Jump. For those of you lucky enough to have an Idris M, it comes with a number of key differences that improve the Idris P. Primarily, it comes with a size 10 railgun, default equipped on the nose.
Now, anyone that's taken part in any of the Idris missions and been unlucky enough to fly past it just as that shot goes off, you all know how devastating that can be when it hits.
The upper front turret is upgunned to a size 7 turret. The cargo room is replaced by the missile launcher, and it has increased armor over the base Idris P.
Yeah.
But it does lose the lower rear man turret for all these other changes, so it's not perfect. For those Idris P owners who want a bit more bite to their Idris and missed out on getting an Idris M, we do offer 2 ways to sort of improve your Idris P: the Idris K kit and the Idris T kit.
This is
So we have the
it's
Idris
not a whole
K
Idris.
Yeah,
and
simply
the Idris
M's or
T
Ps
now.
with additional items.
Very
that you
interesting.
can download.
So that makes
Parts. I can't.
pause right there, folks. So now we've gone from 3 variants technically to 4. We have the base P, its variants K and T, and the military M. So that's 4 versions of this ship. Crazy.
The amount of times
Because it often gets confused, and it has been over the years.
that I've had to remind people there isn't an Idris K,
There is no such thing as an Idris T variant.
it's an aftermarket kit. Anyway,
The Idris K kit comes with a bunch of new items that can be applied to the Idris. Primarily, there is the size 10 laser beam that goes
The
in place of the
Exodus.
railgun.
the beam is one of the first real beam weapons that we've added to the game. Obviously, you've got the mining laser, but this is an actual weaponized version of it. And if anything gets in its way, it's gonna quickly wish that it hadn't. The next item in the kit is a size 7 manned missile turret.
Jeez.
Replaces the front turret of the Idris.
It also comes with 5 additional PDS weapon systems to help fill the additional slots on the P, and a cool black and red paint. The new Idris T kit is a companion to the K kit, and it sort of takes your Idris in a less weapon focus and putting it into more of a torpedo and ordnance focus.
So the first thing is a new nose-mounted weapon. A set of size 12 torpedoes, a total of 20 of them, that fire out of 4 fire ports. Now obviously, that's a lot of torpedoes. And for anyone that watched one of our more recent Citizen Cons, here's a message back for Elwyn. F*** the Polaris.
The views and opinions of Mark Gibson do not represent those of Cloud Imperium Games, Roberts Space Industries, or its subsidiaries. They do represent Jared Huckabee's, though.
The top
That's
turret
funny.
is an alternate size 7 bespoke ballistic cannon turret.
Which is going to add some serious firepower.
The last piece is 5 additional PDS systems. These ones fire missiles rather than energy weapons.
In addition to that,
Yeah, this
also
thing's a
comes with
flying
unique
fortress,
skin
chat.
You've never seen before.
Jeez.
If you look at the layout of the ship, including the exterior from the top down, there is no space conserved. It's packed. One of the most impressive spaces on the Idris is the main hangar. This is the center of operations. It's where you come and go, where you land your ship.
You've got everything that you need, plenty of space.
You can see space for offboarding cargo. It's got ramps for bringing in and out of equipment. The bridge is quite special.
I like the fact that it's almost a sort of glass house in space, full views all the way around.
You have this sense of importance, like you're commanding the vessel.
Right.
The
You, take it around.
like the connective tissue of the ship. They're bold, they have a really distinct profile to them. You've got these white, clean floors that you could imagine some janitor kind of polishing up constantly. It really feels believable. The mess hall is quite municipal, quite utilitarian. It's not the most extravagant space. I just like how tangible it is. The bunks have a very strong nautical, almost submarine type feel to them. Another space I really enjoy is the engine room. It feels like a nuclear reactor. The thing with the ship is everything is functional and military. You get the impression that everything was designed for a purpose and space was at a premium.
The Idris has been a ship people have been waiting for ages, and it means something different to everyone, and how everyone's going to use it is really down to them.
Yeah.
So what's the deal here? I thought we weren't going to release this until Squadron came out.
As Squadron has developed and the Idris has been in the PU in various guises for quite some time now, it's been quite clear internally that the two versions are very different things now. And it's not going to be a spoiler for Squadron. Now, even after this ship releases, it's still going to evolve further.
We've still got lots in the pipe that we want to bring to the ship for Squadron, and hopefully it will trickle through to you guys in the PU as and when we're ready to release it.
Can't wait to play the Squadron version.
So now we're really excited to release the Idris to the PU, and it's going to make lots of people super happy that it is finally here in the game.
We couldn't do it without the teams across the board. Artists, VFX artists, lighting artists, physics, code, narrative. There's so many departments and people involved in bringing such a beast to life. Yeah, it's a big undertaking, so congrats.
Your command now? Okay. Is that it? Not quite yet.
Alone, we are worlds apart. But together, we are an empire formed by purpose. To live, to thrive, to fight. Our enemies adapt in the chaos. Threats are shifting and ever-changing. And new challenges emerge to try us and tear us apart. Unpredictable are our battles. Unrelenting is our fight. But no matter the forces against us, we will prevail. We rise as one, and together, we hold our ground with everything that we have. Now is the time to unite in purpose.
All right, hang on just a sec. Think. All right. Now that. All right. Yeah. I don't know if a lot of people have seen this. But, what the hell, man? There's a lot of stuff announced today that not everybody's happy about in particular. I mean, I kind of get why some people are mad, but man, yeah. I'm not happy they're releasing Blades. Hang on just a second. As purchasables first. I think there was a management decision, but I don't want to be judgy. It's one of those things, folks. Well, actually, hang on. Before we do the jump into this, or the Invictus launch week, I am going to listen to this by the Lord of Lore himself, Paul Shelley. This is his Astro Historian channel.
Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, think about liking the video.
And I recommend everybody give the Lord of Lore a
one of the key cornerstone
sharing
measurements of power in any nation or empire.
I mean,
is their
seriously,
ability to produce.
Paul spends a lot of time making beautiful videos. After you're done with this, please visit and be sure to give him a follow or a like. Thank you.
Project that power. Throughout human history, this has manifested in many ways. But for the UEE of the universe of Star Citizen, the main way it has maintained the peace and ensured their rule has laid at the feet of the Aegis Dynamics Idris frigate. This compact and dangerous symbol of imperial might has been the first on the scene of every conflict for over 400 years, and its continual evolution has kept it relevant over all that time, becoming more than it was ever meant to be. Come hear the complete history of the Aegis Idris, the freedom-fighting frigate. My name is Paul Shelley, and welcome to the Astro Historian. This is a channel dedicated to exploring and explaining the lore of sci-fi and space universes and discussing their impact. Today we'll be looking at the universe of Star Citizen, and one of the most recognizable and important ships of humanity, the Aegis Dynamics Idris frigate. Like any good story, we need some context before we start to look at the ship itself, which means we're going to have to go all the way back and talk about the First Tevaran War. Idris IV was the site of one of the largest battles in that war. The planet was taken early in the conflict, and the human population either evacuated or literally fled to the hills. There, a leader emerged amongst the survivors, Rachel Locke. She had no prior military or leadership experience, but she rallied the refugees into a fighting force, which became known as the Greys. This was perfect, because the Devarin did not understand the concept of guerrilla warfare, which I know sounds weird, but the Devarin way of war assumed that a defeated people would be absorbed into the conquering group, effectively gaining the rights and responsibilities of every Devarin. The idea of a group of defeated civilians, of all people, able to not only refuse to surrender, but actively resist, was literally an alien concept to them. As a result, the Greys were highly effective at disrupting Devarin war efforts and gathering intelligence from the planet. This proved crucial to the war effort, as Locke and her Greys would uncover very worrying information. The Devarin began to establish a massive fighter repair facility and shipyard, which serviced and maintained the majority of the Idris system's Talons, the main defense force of the system. These ships were nigh untouchable by the relatively primitive technology of humanity at the time. Not only were they fast and light, but they were able to carry a miniaturized energy shield to make small arms less effective. To put this in perspective, the RSI Perseus, a ship smaller than the modern Aegis Hammerhead gunship, was too small to have an energy shield. So any interceptor craft humanity had designed, like the now infamous Elio Harmon Stiletto Medium Interceptor, was basically useless against the Talon. Thus, the building of logistics hubs to secure their hold on the system was deemed a priority target by UPE forces. Additionally, the Greys reported another unknown facility near the spaceport. This was connected to a vast network of other structures that the Devarin were building around the globe. Clearly, the Devarin were doing more than just simply securing the planet, but building up a lasting presence. This news came along with a stabilization of the front lines in the conflict. Though Idris was lost, Farron and Centauri were holding, if barely. Desperate battles like the First Battle of the Argon Chain and the Last Stand of Hester Polaris had managed to be both propaganda victories and halt the momentum of the invading Devarin. However, they were signaling the start of a much longer and more bloody war of attrition, which High General Trevor Borland knew humanity couldn't afford. In a strategy meeting in late August of 2544, he expressed a desire to, quote, unbalance the Devarin, to challenge their expectations of how we have been engaging them in warfare, unquote. Over the next week, Borland, High Command, and his advisors sketched out a skeletal framework of what would become known as Operation Nemesis. Operation Nemesis was a daring and divisive plan. Upon entry into Idris, the initial invasion wave of carriers, destroyers, corvettes, and transports were to ignore all Devarin capital ships and push into the system, attempting to drag the Devarin into a fight above Idris 4. Specified ships would break off on their way to form a defensive line between the target and the Farron jump point. Army and Marine ships would then invade the planet's surface, seize military control points, and hold until a steady stream of reinforcements could enter the system to back up the defensive line and reconnect to the initial wave who were in orbit besieging the planet. The UPE's Military Research and Development Department had accelerated production of their new R-27HE, quote, hull shredder, unquote, torpedoes, and by September 17th had them combat ready for the mission. Naval forces assembled by the Farron jump point, while the Army and Marine ground forces trained relentlessly using the then untested planetary invasion techniques. The operation officially launched on September 30th, 2544. In the early hours, the Greys sabotaged many key infrastructure points around the shipyard in anticipation of the invasion. At 1345 Standard Earth time, enemy contact occurred immediately after entering the Idris system. Customized missile ships entered the jump point first, launching a full spread of rockets before the rest of the fleet arrived. The initial wave commenced its push towards Idris 4. The Devarin capital ships tried to intercept and engage the UPE Navy, but the fleet maintained course and sped towards Idris 4. Finally, once the Army and Marines had deployed to the planet, the Navy turned to fight. The battle above Idris 4 began in earnest as Talons swarmed up from the surface. 3 transports were lost during the descent before the fighting spilled over into the ground. The Army's 112th Infantry Battalion, under Colonel Tio Koshi assaulted the shipyard, designated as the Hill, along with Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie mechanized companies on loan from the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Unit as support. After 6 hours of combat, the 112th and the Marines took the Hill. For the moment, it seemed like the operation was going to be a resounding success. Then the moment passed. The Devarin unleashed a devastating strike against the fleet in orbit above Idris 4. You see, the unknown structures that the Devarin were building all over the globe turned out to be a prototype planetary defense system. 2 carriers were annihilated in seconds. The remaining UPE ships scattered to avoid the fire from the planet. Even worse, the new hull shredder torpedoes began to fail, either exploding in their tubes or failing to arm when fired.
Oh no!
On the surface, the Devarin forces that had abandoned the Hill returned with renewed vigor. Hearing reports from the ships, the 112th realized that they were going to be on their own very soon. Their mechanized escort was already down 50% of their original numbers. The soldiers were nowhere near as familiar with the Devarin installation as their enemies were, and as a result were having difficulty securing it. The next planetary rotation would last a lifetime. The naval vessels battled wave after wave of Devarin fighters above Idris 4, refusing to give an inch, knowing that any space lost would certainly consign the troops below to a death sentence. The 112th suffered a devastating loss when a Devarin Talon strafed the compound, dropping an antimatter bomb that destroyed Colonel Koshi and his command staff.
Yeah.
The ground forces became scattered, demoralized, and the Devarin seemed to pick up on it. The last remnants of the 3rd EU Bravo Company died in the push. The remaining Marines and 112th fell back to their inner defensive position. Major Michael Colroy of the 12th Battalion, Charlie Company, was trying to orchestrate an extraction plan when an unseen sniper's bullet took his life. His second in command, a young, ambitious officer named Captain Ivar Messer, then assumed command of the company. Messer began calling in danger-close bombing runs from the fleet's brand new Aegis Dynamics Retaliator bombers, while he organized ambush points with the surviving soldiers. These ships were the key to the victory in the war, and it's likely that the invasion was the ship's baptism by fire. Its revolutionary design, which included a lighter frame than most bombers before it, and the inclusion of a Devarin-derived energy shield, made it more than a match for Talons attempting to intercept the bombers. For hours, the Retaliators dumped payload after payload of high-explosive ordnance on the converging Devarin forces. Afterwards, Messer famously recalled the sight of the first wave dropping their ordnance on the advancing Devarin, saying, quote, "I had never seen something as devastating or as beautiful as a fleet of tallies lighting up the Tevs." However, he didn't stop there. Organizing a small recon force led by Marine Sergeant and infiltration expert Adam Core to destroy the planetary defense system that was still devastating the fleet above. The group commandeered a downed Devarin skiff and slipped past the lines. The infiltration team managed to not only discover the nexus of the planetary defense system, but overtake and assume control of it. They turned the devastating weapon against the massing Devarin fleet, long enough for UPE naval reinforcements to enter the system. The Battle of Idris 4 had taken another turn. Over the next few hours, the Devarin forces began to fall back. Unfortunately, Core and his team had to abandon and detonate the defense system before reinforcements could arrive. As the smoke cleared on Idris 4, over 100 capital ships, thousands of fighters, and 70,000 lives had been lost on both sides. Messer and his forces still held the hill. His actions had decisively turned the tide of battle. The victory at Idris 4 would galvanize the populace in the UPE, drive recruitment rates up, and build on the momentum to push further into the Devarin systems. At the center of all of this, the young, ambitious, now Colonel Ivar Messer, whose taste for power would begin to push him on a path that would change the course of human history in a very different way. And his personal experience with the Aegis Retaliator formed a bond that would irrevocably tie the ship company with the Messer family, for good or for ill, and lead to the creation of the Aegis Idris.
Yep.
As Ivar Messer was catapulted into the ranks for his actions during the invasion of Idris IV, it was clear that humanity had gained the upper hand, and the war would soon end in a UPE victory. As a result, in 2545, the then UPE Weapons Development Bureau, or WEPDEV, started development of a new ship whose purpose was to be a long-range light patrol craft. It was designed for the post-war future of humanity, seeing a need to keep the peace in the quickly expanding territory of humanity post-war. You see, it was clear that a new wave of citizens would emerge from the war thanks to their service to save humanity from the Devaran threat. Those citizens would likely seek to settle down in new lands freed up after the war, thus likely creating several new represented planets and systems for the UPE to patrol and protect. With new technologies like air shields, hull construction techniques, and exotic weaponry, all created for the war effort, WEPDEV wanted a state-of-the-art ship to be the forefront of this new expansion, a first step into modernizing the fleet post-war. They imagined an 85-meter corvette that would dock a pair of light patrol fighters, likely stilettos, to its hull. Their hope was that by building this smaller ship, they could be built in greater numbers than the current ships of the line of the Navy, already stretched thin after the long conflict with the Devaran. The prime contractor role, covering both design and manufacturing for the new ship, was assigned to Aegis Dynamics via no-bid contract, with a number of component and support contracts going to smaller, now defunct, concerns. To outside observers, the result of the ensuing 3 years of development was a model of typical bureaucratic confusion. You see, the namesake Idris that would begin its space trials in 2549 was a completely different beast to the original specification. No longer was it a corvette, but a massive frigate-class spacecraft, massing several times the original proposal. Coming in at a length of 243 meters, a width of 127 meters, and a height of 57.5 meters, this frigate mounted an enormous railgun and carried a fully functional flight deck capable of supporting multiple classes of fighters and bombers. With a maximum crew of 28 and a mass of almost 38,000 metric tons, the Idris was over 8 times the mass of a typical corvette, with almost 4 times the crew. The Idris's move from the proposed corvette to the frigate that was actually constructed was surprisingly painless and seemingly natural for those involved, with the design specifications being revised multiple times as the reality of the post-war empire became increasingly clear, especially with the rise of Ivar Messer to political power. While the full story of Ivar Messer's rise to power is one for a different time, it's important to note that Ivar Messer's relationship with Aegis Dynamics was an important part of both his rise to power as the imperator of the new United Empire of Earth and the development of the Idris. The newly christened Empire's cadre of fresh-faced, Messer-aligned planners quickly identified the project as important to establishing their own power base, and they worked carefully with Aegis and other contractors, particularly AIM Krug, responsible for the railgun installed on the first flight of ships, to expand the scope of design to define a model for the modern warship. Expansion from the original corvette to the frigate was a rare decision that was in the best interests of all persons involved. Highlighting the suggested importance of the project, the first ship was named after the recent victory of Idris IV, already being mythologized as the foundational element of this new empire. The first frigate was commissioned in 2551 in a ceremony at Aegis's newly constructed Idris System Factory complex, possibly even resting on the hill itself. The launch was attended by Imperator Ivar Messer, who presented a famous speech seen today as a prelude to him taking increased control of the UEE in the name of public safety. The initial factory constructed by Aegis to produce the ships included 6 berths that would work around the clock. The first
there
6
were
Idrises
6
laid
Idrises
down
at
were all
first.
commissioned by May of 2552 and began service tryouts, then extended patrol assignments later that year. This is also where the naming convention of Idrises began, named after systems of the UEE. From the start, the high-tech ships were desired assignments for Navy crewmen, who correctly identified that the then lavish ships would play a major role in coming events. The Idris design became highly influential in all subsequent designs. The first modern capital ship of the UEE Navy, it boasted many designs which have become standard, including its fully functional through-and-through hangar. That hangar's dimensions played a key role in the size requirements for the first modern fighter of the UEE Navy, the
Gladius.
legendary Aegis P-5G Gladius, a ship which was almost purpose-built to act as a force multiplier for Idris's in 2589. That ship would go on to influence the design of every aerospace fighter the UEE ever produced, and thus the dimensions of just about every carrier ship in the fleet. When I say the Idris is the first modern ship, I mean it's the first modern ship in the UEE Navy for a reason. Unfortunately, a major delay in production occurred in 2553, following the revelation that there were significant issues with the layout of the original 6 ships that made them particularly prone to fires. Poor placement of firefighting equipment and personnel, combined with limited availability of shipboard retardants, led to several significant fires, culminating the deaths of 17 starmen when one such fire spread to the forward magazine aboard the UES Ashton. Production of additional Idrises were delayed for 18 months, while a full review and redesign was conducted, culminating in the launch of the first Flight 2 spacecraft in 2555. With the early issues resolved, Idris production continued at pace, and the powerful frigates quickly became a common sight around the Empire. The last Flight 1, the original UES Idris, was decommissioned in August of 2587, with 43 tours and 9 combat stars. Today, it remains mothballed in dry dock at MacArthur, where it is often discussed as a potential museum piece highlighting the military's role during the Mezer era. With what records we have of the Flight 2s, they served with distinction throughout the Second Tevaran War of 2603 and the start of the Vandal incursions in 2681. It also has a less than stellar record of human rights abuses. Being the main patrol frigate of the Navy, Idrises were often the first to arrive at a location of an illegal strike or open rebellion, utilizing their full breadth of weaponry to both psychologically and physically attack many of these groups. An ironic twist for a ship which was named partially for the freedom fighters who opposed similar oppression by the Tevaran so many years before. Still, even after the fall of the Mezers in 2792, as a result of the anti-Mezer revolution, the ship remained in service, still vital to the protection and patrol of the Empire. The average Aegis-class frigate commissioned between 2560 and 2800 had a 30-year operational lifespan. For the first 200 years of production, Idrises were reliably scrapped upon decommissioning, a requirement specified by law for all capital assets by the early UEE government. While Aegis shipbreakers were forbidden from salvaging and reusing systems, they were able to recycle roughly 35% of the scrap tonnage in construction of newly produced frigates. This life cycle was drastically altered in 2801 with the passage of the first Surplus Act that gave approved civilian organizations the rights to bid on properly demilitarized but still functional spacecraft up to and including destroyer-class vessels. This was done specifically in order to deal with the ramifications of the fall of the Mezer regime nearly a decade before, and what I've dubbed the cargo crisis of the 29th century. While I have done a standalone video on this, which I'll link in the top right, I will say that this was when most of the civilian shipping construction and operation disappeared due to the aftermath of the revolution. In a desperate act, the new UEE was selling off whatever they could to serve as transports, which included surplus Idris-class ships. This meant the permanent disabling of the keel-mounted gun and removal of all classified subsystems, such as military-spec targeting software. While initially there wasn't much interest in a defanged frigate, within 2 decades, the need for larger-scale fighting ships had become greater. The weakened state of the UEE and the ongoing purge of the military of any Mezer loyalists left many systems to fend for themselves, resulting in a rise in outlaw activity. Suddenly, system security and militia saw the value in the combat-tested design of the Idris to add to their own defense fleets. As a result, Aegis was forced to significantly expand its investment in mining corporations in order to make up for lost scrap resources, as now more ships were going out to the civilian market and not being recycled. Simultaneously, the pressure from those sales led to additional citizen armament laws, which loosened the restrictions on what equipment could be sold off and to whom it could be sold to, gradually going from authorized militia forces to corporate and finally private entities. Some of the first Idrises to be purchased by civilians were 3 frigates called the BX-214, the BX-215, and the BX-218. An aid organization acquired them in 2812 in response to a disaster in the Coral system. Unexpected solar activity had caused massive crop failures in the system over an 18-month stretch of time. The rugged Idris could weather the solar storms, and as such, their flight bays were converted into armored cargo bays for them to deliver aid supplies to the beleaguered people in the system. Another Idris modified by civilians was the Annex. Purchased by a historical salvage company in 2815, the Annex was an early Flight 2 series Idris that was modified with a high-tech sensor package and fleet of drones. Its main purpose was to find long-lost wrecks of historical importance to document and recover them. The Annex and her civilian crew were credited with many major discoveries of lost wrecks. One in particular was a Crusader Industries Genesis Starliner, thought destroyed in an accident. The Annex and her drones discovered the ship intact and were able to recover the vessel. In 2915, a formal information request filed by journalists researching historical spacefaring vessels discovered that the majority of Annex's missions were funded by the UEE for yet-to-be declassified reasons. One of the oddest repurposing of an Idris was Home Force 1. A fringe political group claimed ownership of a large asteroid in the Goss system and called themselves the Free Republic of Lamia. The Home Force 1 was a military surplus Idris that had never had the weapons reinstalled. The Lamians used the unarmed ship in a number of political stunts to promote their cause, but eventually fell into bankruptcy within a year of the ship's purchase, and the ship was eventually scuttled by the advocacy. While civilians began to fall in love with the frigate, the most famous modern Idris was built around this period, the UES Stanton. Sealed in 2872, the ship initially served with the 2nd Fleet, 351st Battle Group, a position it held for the entirety of its normal service life, 60 years. It was during this time that future captain of the ship, one Noah White, had their first assignment on the ship. In 2935, likely as a result of the extensive refitting to modernize the aging ship, it was reassigned to the 2nd Fleet, 87th Battle Group, where it served with distinction during rescue and disaster relief missions in Farron, as well as perimeter sweeps along the Xi'an front. It was during this period, sometime before 2945, when Captain Noah White returned to the ship to take command, alongside his executive officer, Sophia Kelly. The ship is important because of it being the main ship we serve on during the events of Squadron 42 in 2946, where the Stanton becomes the home to the player character.
Right.
But by 2875, the demand for civilianized Idrises, combined with the longer lifespan of the Flight 3s, outstripped the Navy's ability to decommission existing ships. The result is arguably the Flight 4 series of Idrises, also known as the Idris Peacekeeper. This series of Idrises were built with the sole purpose of selling to the civilian market. The Idris P, as it's become known, is identical to its military cousin, now known as the Idris M, save for lacking the primary mounted armament. However, as with pretty much every modern Aegis ship, there are aftermarket upgrades that allow the Peacekeeper owners to add weapons to the front of their ships, like the massive Hurston Dynamics Exodus laser beam, which enthusiasts have dubbed the Idris K. Idris Ps are built on request for wealthy citizens, large corporations, and even militias to fulfill a variety of specific purposes. With the passage of the Militia Mobilization Initiative in 2946, in response to the Vanduul attack in the Vega system, Idris Peacekeepers have become even more popular, with more and more groups being able to afford the expensive civilian frigate. One of these groups is known as Helene's Canard, an Idris P made into a luxury yacht by eccentric weapons magnate Jair Forsyth. The businessman has become more reclusive and insulated over time, and on his 75th birthday, he sold all his terrestrial real estate and a significant portion of his weapons investments to buy and convert the Helene's Canard as his mobile home. The details of the ship's crew, or even its whereabouts, remain unknown to this day. Idris-class vessels aren't entirely free of controversy, however. Many Idris M's have fallen into the hands of organized crime groups like the Arlington Gang, Xenothreat, and the Frontier Fighters, who have used these capital ships to terrorize the people of the Stanton system. Although aging and slowly being phased out of its initial patrol duties in favor of the new RSI Polaris corvette, Aegis has continued to expand the number of available berths at their Idris 4 facility over the centuries, as demand increases from both the military and civilian users. With modern Flight 3s and 4s, the average lifespan of the Idris has doubled to 60 years or more of service, thanks to updated technologies and greatly specialized overhaul process that essentially rebuilds any given ship once over the course of a decade, making modern Idrises to likely remain a common sight anywhere in the Empire. Over 400 years after the ship's launch and 80 years since the creation of the Peacekeeper, the Idris remains an iconic part of the UEE, representing the complicated history of human involvement in space, both a freedom fighter and an oppressor, criminal and law enforcer. Yet still, the ship remains, to many, as a reassuring symbol of peace and prosperity in the UEE, much like the brave resistance fighters, soldiers, and Marines that fought to reclaim the ship's namesake in the fall of 2944. I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, think about liking the video, subscribing for more content, and hitting the bell icon to be notified when these release. These take a long time to research and edit, so hitting the like button goes a long way to promoting it to other like-minded lovers of Star Citizen and lore in general. This is my second crack at the story of the Aegis Dynamics Idris. I was inspired to do these new reviews with a much broader look at the history and context of their creation by the works of fellow YouTuber and mercenary professor of mech lore, Tex, over at Black Pants Legion. So expect more deep dives into ships like this video, the Gladiator and the Gladius videos in the future. There are some weird discrepancies with the lore with the Idris that I do want to bring up. The UES Ashton is one of the first Idris classes ever built, but as far as I can tell, there's no star system called the Ashton system. In the future, this might be waved away as the former name of one of the modern systems, retconned, or changed altogether. True. It's a minor detail, but I know the question will be brought up in the comments, so I figured I'd tackle it. Another weird situation revolving around the names is that there aren't that many known systems in game, and likely Idris-class ships are only named after UE-aligned systems like Stanton. Sorry to all of you who've heard the whispers of the prophet, there likely isn't a UES Pyro, for example. However, it's also likely that there are several hundred, if not 1,000 Idris-class ships in service with the UE Navy at any given time, especially over the course of the ship's 400-year service history.
Yeah.
I gather they'll do some light retconning to allow some of the Idris classes to be named after towns, cities, and planets in the UEE as well, like a UES Locke, named after the planet of the ship's origin, Idris 4. Personally, I'm looking forward to the ship in the PU and Squadron 42, even though I personally don't own one. So if you or your org do own one, let me know in the comments below if I can get a ride on your Idris to explore it a little bit more into the game. I'd also like to thank those on screen now for supporting the channel financially. If you want to throw in a few credits, you can toss me a one-time donation on Ko-fi or think about becoming a member on YouTube. If you want a bit more for your contribution, join the Patreon. Patreons get early ad-free access to all videos, including exclusive early access to my long-running complete history of Star Citizen lore series. Check those out now in the top right if you want to know what you're getting. Thanks again for watching, and as always, remember, ex Historia ad Astra.
Anyways, I am waiting for a friend to get on. So while we wait, chat, so we have these 3 packs for the Aegis Whatever this is. This is some funky ass armor too. I actually like the orange colored. Gosh, what is this? The New Dawn paint scheme. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Standalone ships. Do I have a free paint? I'm wondering. I have an Idris P. It's been in my hangar for a while. So let's go to my hangar. Sort by game packages. It'll be the Dominus pack. So there's the P. Forget. See, there's a paint that came with that P. I doubt it, though. It'll be under Idris paints. Nope, no Idris paint. So, what's the deal? There's this paint people are showing, and I'm like, well, it's not available. You know? So, for now, we're going to wait for my friend to get on. We're going to jam. We have the T. Those are two different paints. That one's red. This is the Marauder paint. So where's the other paint? The one that looks Nightbreak and Marauder. So they're two different ones. I have a P. So there are two separate paints here. Marauder and Nightbreak. Humor. Nightbreak. So where's this Thunderclap or whatever paint? I don't know. See, this is also Marauder. Whatever. For the record, though, thank you for the follow. Mandidja, I guess it is the name. How are you doing? Hang on. Friends. Oh. Mm. Alright. I hope I can get some here. I don't even know what it is. Ooh. Was looking for something, but I forgot. Darn it. Whale cry. Right. The Idris only has 3 paints at the moment. But I've been seeing pictures of this other one rolling around. I'm not sure if it's available or not. There is that. The current paints for this ship. Let me see here. We have Shark Tooth. Looks like this. Which I dig it. It's kind of cool. We have Shark Tooth. We have Beachhead, which is kind of a sandy military brown. Then Commando Camo, which is really cool. There, okay. I'm actually in the middle of waiting on somebody to get online. '07 Fleet Ready Gaming. Yeah. Shark Tooth is such a great skin. '07. Almost ready to hop on. Good. Are you on, Savad? Hello? Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Man, I can barely hear you.
All right, give me 1 second.
Hang on just a second. Up there. Try again.
Okay, testing. Can you hear me all right?
Might need to go up a little bit louder.
All right. How about that?
And let me adjust it. Yeah, I actually compared. Hey, Sarah Panel, what's going on, my friend? You know, these Idris paints are all 3 of them are rather nice compared to the Polaris paints, which are kind of blasé. You know.
Mm-hmm.
These 3 paints actually have some character to them. All 3 of
They
them do.
are quite nice. Yeah, for the Idris paints, I was tempted to get all 3. I ended up only getting the shark mouth one.
The tan one is a military color as well. So that's why it kind of works, you know?
Yeah.
It's not even, and the thing is, it's not Dookie Brown, thank God.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's quite a nice, like, I mean, like you said, it is very like desert storm type color. Would be great for like Daymar or any other sort of desert world we get.
Yep. Sarah Panol in chat says, Happy Idris Day.
Indeed, happy Idris Day. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I never thought we would see the Idris so soon. And
It was
it
definitely a
hints,
pleasant surprise.
it opens the door for so many things. And one of them is Squadron 42 is much sooner than we think. I mean, it's foolish to think it's not, you know, because I personally, yeah, no worries, man. You'll get your dream ship. Just wait. Good old Alpha UEC says, oof.
It'll be a pretty penny, but it'll be worth every single one of it.
It will. Now, before I get in game, I'm looking at the store page. I saw pictures of the version of the thunderclap paint, you know, rolling around, but I'm not seeing how to purchase that. You know, it's the Perseus paint that looks like the green.
It might be
like an exclusive or something.
An exclusive to maybe the T kit. I know that the K kit that I have came with a exclusive skin, the Marauder skin.
Right.
So it is possible it could be either for the M or the T kit.
Right. I wonder if it's the M. That's going to make a lot of people mad because the M is already sold out. Hang on, let me see that. Standalone ships. That's a good question. And nobody was saying that 150 million, if not higher, you say fleet.
Yep.
You are right, though.
I mean, honestly, 150 would be a decent amount because it's like.
Now, what I am contemplating is consolidating a bit and getting the Aegis Super Pack because it has one of the rare paints, you know, and it has the Idris M instead of the P.
Yeah.
And the M has heavier armor.
For sure.
Debating it because, you know, I mean, if I melted my current Dominus pack, I would be within $300 of the Aegis pack complete. And that not only gets me an Idris M, but a Javelin. A freaking Javelin. You know? And it's something I'm weighing, you know? Like, do I want to melt all my fun ship toys, though? But
I have had the same thoughts because for me, I would have to melt my Drake Ultimate pack, and I don't know if I could leave my Krakens.
And a lot of people are saying the next ship are going to be the big Drake ships, like the Kraken. And
exactly.
There's a rumor the Kraken might have a smaller capital ship built off of it. You know, something between the Ironclad series and the Kraken. Like their Corvette.
Yeah.
They could call it the Drake jackboot or something like
Honestly, I'm a Drake fanboy. I would love to see anything
that. By
more
the
from
way, have
them.
you seen the MTC? That is the one ground vehicle that excites me because it's overpowered.
Yep.
If you look at this picture, here it is. This is the MTC, and I love this dark blue paint that's got. Now, compared to, and it's got two size 2 weapons. This can actually fend ships off that are pretty big, like Valkyrie size and stuff. They said they're going to make the Bengal carrier a ship bigger than the Javelin. Serapano. I remember them saying we're supposed to get battle cruisers and cruisers for purchase, eventually.
Yep.
And people have to remember the Idris is the only frigate class ship we have right now. There are 3 other major ship makers. Who is it? Anvil could come out with a frigate. And who's the other one? Drake could come out with a frigate.
Crusader.
Crusader has no capital ships. Well, the Starliner doesn't count. It's a boat.
Yeah, but I was actually looking over all the ship lists, and Crusader, out of all the manufacturers, they have the least amount of ships at the moment.
They do. Well, with Kruger too, and
yeah, true.
Consolidated. There's been a rumor that Consolidated is supposed to have something like a Cutlass size ship, because that seems to be the sweet spot.
Yeah, it's supposed to be between Cutlass and Connie size.
Okay, what I was gonna check, I don't see Idris M.
An Origin Corvette, yes, that would be sick.
Origin Corvette. Well, it would be, that would be unusual. They mentioned the Origin hover tank again. Remember that? It was like a week ago. They mentioned the Origin hover tank. For people who missed hearing that's interesting because we don't typically think of Origin as a combat company.
No, we don't.
Okay, before we jump further in, what do you think of this Blade situation? I frankly think this is discouraging normal people from buying in at the moment till they get in game, which is fine because they know the people who are going to buy them are going to test them. Kind of like that situation. True, it's a money grab, but I think some people missed the fine print where it said they will be in the PU very soon, like 4.2, I believe it said.
Yeah, it said that it would be coming out in the summer, so that can be anything as of next patch to, towards September.
Which either way is a short time frame. Very short.
It is, and I think people are still in the mindset of the quarterly patch system. They've we're still not used to getting, major patches every month now. And
now,
personally, I think that, it will probably be sooner than later. And I can understand the sentiment, especially for those who are, in the PvP crowd. It's, after hearing some of the specs on it, it does give a slight advantage, especially for experienced combat fighters. But at the same time, it's not. I don't think it's enough to really make a difference. But then, I'm not an ace combat fighter. I'm decent, but until I test one myself, I couldn't really say if it makes a huge difference or not.
So I'm getting the distinct feeling we're going to have a lot of diverging variants of ships because the Idris T is completely brand new as of today. We've never heard of an Idris T. The variant of the K that is missiles And shit. That is brand new, isn't it, Savad? The T kit is new, all new.
Yes,
and it's
complete. Yes, it was a surprise for sure. And I was laughing because this one guy on Spectrum literally kind of nailed it on the head with making a joke saying, "Is there an Idris T?" Because he noticed the torpedoes that were sitting outside of the expo hall for the Idris.
And boy, did he call it.
He really did. You know, and on top of it, CIG giving us the Idris T-shirt.
Oh gosh,
for the subscribers.
Oh boy, God, no. Now, what I'm curious about. Okay, let's look in the Idris Complete Pack. See, I'm wondering if they have any exclusive paint. To see, there's a P Corvette. Oh, they took out the M. Really? Huh.
So it's only the P now?
Yeah. So that in the Aegis Complete Pack, there is, because they're all P variant. Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah. Well, before then, they were selling the M as part of the Aegis Complete. That tells me the original M has been retired. Something.
I mean, honestly, I think that's spot on. And I think they're like, if you want the M, you're going to have to
buy the big pack. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Now, I am eyeballing that Javelin because, you see, I could melt everything I got minus my $800, surplus pack, right? And I'd be within 300 of buying this outright. Maybe 2. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. So it's 9. This is $950, So let's pull up. And I'm going to be getting in game soon because we got to look around the Invictus Hall. There's some stuff there brand new. And somebody mentioned, Savad, no hollow.
Yeah, that was surprising as well.
Also, did you notice there's something going on between Drake and everyone else? They've been formally invited to Invictus.
Well, it's actually interesting because I read a couple other little lore things that were on the website. Drake, as the company, was actually banned. They're banned from the entire planet of ArcCorp right now.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they were still able to set it up to where their ships will be available to be rented.
Sarah Pownell is saying they've already made 2.7 on this event alone.
Wow.
That's pretty good, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
I wonder if that's all Idris and Javelin purchases. Could be. I mean, my Dominus pack only came with the P. So, I'm not missing much, but The reason I don't want to melt it, it has a Polaris, a Liberator, Raylan, a bunch of other ships, and the best one it has is I have a Perseus in here, but that's probably going to come out into the year anyways. I do have a lot of Aegis ships, but Starlancer, TAC, Paladin, both Guardians, Paulo Medvac. But the kicker is I have the Hope class Endeavor. You know, and I'm debating it like, do I really want to get rid of my Endeavor Hospital? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, why? See, that one is, it brings me within $711. That's sad. I mean,
that's some pricey stuff.
Well, it brings me within $711, but still, that's pretty damn close. The Entrepreneur Kit, the other one, it has a hull B, a Hull A, Star Lancer Max, Medivac, Terrapin, and Super Hornet Mark II. This pack, which is normally 600, now sits at 800. And then I have the minor pack, which has the Golem. That Golem, though, is one of the most interesting design ships so far.
It's got a nice frame frame size to it.
I wonder if there's anything in buying back popped up. I don't see anything, so I'm just gonna say. Now, what level are you, if I don't mind me asking?
Praetorian.
So you're gonna see things that I don't see. I'm a wing commander. And that's another ship that doesn't have a paint. Well, it might later in the event, the F8. The F8's going to have some paints come out. You know it. Because it's only got 3, I guess? 3?
Yeah, and I think there's 2 more that were supposed to be coming out with Invictus.
The Polaris is supposed to get a couple more. And yeah, I really like the shark tooth paint. I have the Anvil ship that has that, the Hornet. The Hornet has that shark paint. Is it the Hornet? I forget. Hold on.
The Hornet has the Valentine's one.
No. I'm talking about the paint with the shark tooth. Oh, yeah, it does. It does. The Mark II does. Or is it the Mark I? I have the Mark I paint, too. It's collector items.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now the most interesting thing I think from this are the alternative hardpoint editions that have been added. That was never mentioned. The hardpoint editions. Like turning the Gladius into a light, high-speed bomber.
Yeah, those bombing racks was quite a surprise for me. Like,
did you notice the size 3?
Yes.
They're powerful enough to damage ground targets and also scoot in and scoot out.
For sure.
Okay. So let's see. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can. There is a little bit of a time delay.
So on it's extras. No add-ons. So on the add-ons, here's the T and the K kits. Here are the blade units. Now these paints are exclusive. And I was like, are they the same paint? There's a flight blade kit, Aegis flight blades. Some of these have double, there's a Scorpius weapon kit, which turns the turret into a massive missile load. It carries, let's see here. It carries 16 size 2 missiles. So it's got some punch. So that turns it into the Scorpius Imp, right? You go from a Scorpius T to the Scorpius Imp.
Yep.
Then we have the bomb round. What I'm curious about is, are there several bomb rack variants? Because this one, it holds 2 size 2 CTS 313 Castillo bombs. These racks, how do you equip these?
So from what I've seen online, they
snap onto the ship.
They swap out the missile ports.
Interesting. That's interesting. So these are new modules, then.
Technically, yes, because you're swapping out your missile racks for the bomb racks. So yeah.
People may say it's not worth it. I disagree. And then we have the Gatling Nova G, right?
That one was really interesting.
That I think we've seen this weapon before too. During the weapon ISC, I swear we've seen this triple barrel launcher. I'm actually gonna get these option parts, you know? And it comes with the Nightbreak skin, which is really nice on a Nova.
Oh yeah.
So, one thing I've I heard something. Someone mentioned that the background for the Idris was Nyx.
I noticed and I saw that as well. And yes, it definitely looks like it's Nyx.
This is some heavy foreshadowing. Very heavy. And think about it. Here's a weird excuse. They are extending the free fly all the way past the end of the event for several weeks. Why would they do this unless they're going to stress the servers even more?
Oh, for sure. Like I think, a couple weeks ago they were doing the capital stress test, and I think they're trying to gather enough information to see if they can bump up the server caps again.
You have to own an Idris to buy it. Well, I own an Idris. Professor Decoy says I have to own the Idris to buy the Thundercloud. But how? How do you buy it? That's really confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The other two paints are... Anyways, we're done with that. I'm going to update my... I'm already at Art Corp. So I'm dressed for Invictus. So probably a good time to hit since it's going to be so hard to fly, right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
have you
and I'm
flown, piloted the last couple of days?
I've only been able to hop in for a brief amount of time each for mainly yesterday. And overall the performance yesterday was really good. Right now I'm at Orison and it's doing pretty good there as well.
I really think they're doing some major stress tests. They're preparing for something. They're not telling.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we see Nyx by the end of the year.
It's looking very likely. Compared to what it's been.
Oh yeah. Because it's like, I mean, the planetary system's a lot better than I do.
It's small. It's not like
small.
Pyro.
Yeah, and it only has, 2 planets? Or is that Castor?
It's got 2 landable planets and 1 gas giant, in addition to the Delamar asteroid. So, yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know if I'd call it I suspect stuff, but I kind of feel like Nyx is done. In fact, I think it was done before Pyro, but they mentioned something about redoing the planets a little bit. But what I think they're going to do is, because look at this splash screen. This is another new splash screen. That's Pyro 3. Sorry, I'm having to create a character. Hate that you have to do it every patch. But it's getting less and less now. No. There we go. There. Alien looking eyes. With weather updating. Weather update. What are you talking about, Sarah Panel? I hadn't heard that yet. Have you, Savan?
No. I'm definitely looking forward for when we start getting new
Hang on, I'm
weather
gonna turn
types
this
and-
down. I'm gonna turn down my actual. There we go. I can hear you now.
Okay.
But I
Yeah,
had
no,
heard, I'd heard something about weather. I want to spawn at Area 18. You do, right? I might have to back out too, because I haven't updated the game in a couple of days.
Dude, I gotta say, I'm in game right now. I just got finished loading out the address, and I just spawned it, and seeing it come up that elevator is a thing of beauty.
You know what's amazing though? The Idris is one of the oldest ships.
It is, yeah. That is pretty crazy.
I just realized I don't even need that Hope class, really. I have a complete Endeavor pack in buyback that's for full credit. I would be able to buy for 1,000 credit. You know, with lifetime insurance, with every module. Which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, it's that's another one that I'm interested in. I also have the master pack in my buyback. And
Sarah Panel's right. Rain and Lightning was already shown in the works when Zeus launched. Also, water levels. I seem to remember something about water levels. You know? Do you remember that too, Savan? Because when it rains, water accumulates.
For sure. I have not. That is something I would love to see. Not only that, I would love to see tidal shift.
Like for moons and stuff.
Exactly. For oceans and things like that.
Some of the planets they mentioned do have tidal shift. Clothing. Let's get equipped, shall we? Choose. Let's make my character look handsome. There's those people. I like how the pockets now have storage for real time. See, even a year ago, we didn't have half this stuff.
It is crazy how much the game has grown in the last year and a half.
Invictus flight jacket. There we go. Look. Ah, look.
looking sharp.
All right. Now, what I'm going to see is, do I have you? Oh, I got the Hunt the Polaris mission. Ooh. Didn't you earn an exclusive paint or something from that?
I'm not sure. I know that you can get like a lot of the new scripts from it for completing it, as well as there being a chance for like ace pilots showing up.
Sent party invite.
All right, got it.
All right, where are you?
I am at Orson at the moment.
You're at Hurston at the moment?
Orson.
Interesting. See you anywhere, huh? Huh. Yeah, and the fact they're walking on water or anything like that, that means there will be aquatic creatures at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And
we've already.
What's that?
I was going to say we've actually already seen in one of the ISCs from like a year ago. They showed us fish, like trout and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, absolutely looking forward to us getting some aquatic life.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm suspicious. I don't think the gap between us and Squadron 42 is going to be nearly as long as people think.
Mm-hmm.
And also forget, ArcCorp is the last planet in Stanton to get a rework. So far, it's got superficial shit, but we're supposed to have the depths and the pipeworks, right?
Yep.
That's in the deep corridors of ArcCorp.
Very true. Yes. Honestly, I can't wait for the ArcCorp rework.
What's that?
Being able to, I can't wait for when that rework comes out, because being able to go into Sub-City.
This is a new machine. I've never seen this. UEE banking. Have you noticed this machine before?
Don't believe so.
This has never been here before. So is this like a ATM?
Actually, I recognize the machine, but I've never seen that text on it.
I think they're getting ready to boot it up. Because there's that machine, then we have this machine, which is storage access. Let's see if there's any more. Yeah, there's more. UE bank machines. Storage access. This, which I don't recognize this being here. That's another new machine. No, Savad. I'm thinking there's been some silent improvements. You know?
For sure. And, maybe that's what we'll use for the guild scripts. Like, we can store them in there and, they'll still be physicalized while we'll have, Alpha or UEC be a completely digital currency.
Well, it makes sense to have a bank machine. Storage. I wonder if we're going to have ATM for script. Oh, ATM for script, he says.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good... let's see if we can access it. Doesn't look like it, but it says free withdrawals. Hand scan. I guess there's going to be a hand scanner for the ATM. You stick your hand out, scan to your ID, and then off you go. So, are you on your way to ArcCorp?
Uh, yes, I'll be making my way that way here shortly. I'm just lost in the address.
Yeah. I'm heading to Bivik.
Okay, copy that.
We'll top it off with you. What the hell? This guy has his gun out.
Really?
Yeah. It's a player, too. Okay, I'm out of here. Yeah. The guy's in the... Is it a player? No.
I think it might be an NPC, yeah.
An enemy NPC in art. Please shut door before he finds us. Yeah, but I've never seen an enemy on ArtCorp wear that armor before. Kind of odd. Have you guys? Oh, Sarah Panel says the ATM will work with engineering, I bet. Yeah, that's a good guess. I agree. Don't you, Savon?
Definitely. I could see that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, dude. Because it wouldn't be a right now thing. It's going to be a sooner or later, though.
Now arriving.
But there's nobody else with a gun.
Welcome to Invictus Launch Week.
Now the NPCs are chattering. Okay, that's kind of, yeah. They have more clipping. NPCs again. Some sort of announcement going on. All right. Heading up. I always love the little models and things.
Mm-hmm.
What's this? Hang on. Look at this guy. He's got a pirate band on his shoulder. Who's this dapper fella? See this? He's got what looks like a pirate band or branding on his shoulder. It's kind of cryptic, isn't it, Savad? This NPC here?
Yeah.
You see who I'm looking at? What's
Yeah,
with the skull? And now he's walking off. I think I disturbed him.
He's a fellow who doesn't like to be
watched.
Watched, exactly.
Still, I think it's funny that there's a guy with a pirate striping wandering around a place with a bunch of starmen. And he doesn't look like Ninetales or Slicers or those other guys. Frontier Fighters. Could this guy be a brand new enemy? He kind of looked like it, didn't he? Like a brand new faction?
Well, I do know that headhunters have infiltrated Stanton with this patch.
Maybe they're headhunter?
Possibly.
I like his jacket better than mine. Oh, he's a player. All right, let's see what we got. It's showtime. How far out are you?
I am just now leaving the atmosphere.
I can wait for a little bit.
Yeah,
look,
it's going to be a moment.
We got a dead guy. He's had too much drink. Yeah, emergency. Okay. Oh, they're just throwing everything in here. I'm gonna wait though. So the vehicles we have today are the Anvil Asgard is here. It's not even Anvil Day. That's goofy. We have the Mirai Guardian MX, Anvil Asgard, Super Hornet Mark II, Lightning, yeah, whatever it is. Something unannounced. Huh. Fascinating. So, there's a lot of Anvil stuff here, but it didn't make sense because, you know, all three logistics. Let's see. I thought that dude had a freaking camera. WTF? Okay, here's event hall. Wow, there are 2 event halls. Savad, not just one.
Is there? What's in the second one?
I don't know. Let's follow the. First of all, these pictures. What is that? Is that the Terrapin? Oh, Terrapin Medic. Okay. I thought that was a new ship. Anvil 8, the Tumbrel AA. That looks like a cutscene. Okay, here's ours. Oh. It's okay. This is that's the Mantis. It hasn't been in a hall for a while, has it?
No.
These are blades. Okay. Check it out. There are 4 different kinds. So what do we got? We got the PHB series of blades. Allocates forward thrust resources. So it's more of a maneuverability booster. And the TSB series reallocates lateral thrust. So it's more of a speed booster. Okay. So there is a difference between the blades, right?
Yes. From what I've seen, there's 2 different types.
PSB and TSB. Is it just me, or does the Mantis look kind of different? Kind of looks a little odd, doesn't it?
I'm telling you, everybody from the Imperator on down is just as confused as we are.
Who's talking? These NPCs are talking.
You can't control life. Just gotta live it the best you can.
Okay, that's freaky. They actually having conversations. Yeah, that's. They are walking up to each other and talking to each other. That's new, isn't it?
Definitely a lot more new. They did it in 4.1, but it was kind of broken.
Yeah, janky is the word you're looking for. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's. Oh, it's a Juno Star Works. What are you? Basilisk shield generator. 138,000 credits. Can we just say I want this guy's suit? Wow, did you see how he looked? That person looked like a goth. That was cool. I heard we're supposed to get a new NPC variant too. How far out are you, Sivad?
About halfway there, but I think we might be on different servers.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see you on
okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna exit the menu and then get back into that should make things a lot easier. Yeah, I think we are too, because I'm not seeing you. Wow, servers are 600 now.
Really awesome.
That is incredible. Okay, they are testing something then. If servers are at 600, that was a silent increase. Last time it was what, 400?
500, I believe.
600's another 100 up, and they're stable. I was having no issues.
All right, I saw your name just pop up.
Very good.
How about this? Let me meet you at what's the orbital station above ArcCorp? Is that Virginia?
I forget.
It's been a long time since I've been to ArcCorp as well, so
I can't remember. Hold on. Here I am.
yes. But by Genie Point, yeah. How about I meet you there? Since I'm in the Idris, if I take this thing down planet side, it's going to take forever to get back out.
He what?
I said, why don't I meet you at the orbital station once you're done at the convention hall?
Yeah.
Since I'm in the Idris, it'll take forever to get out of atmosphere.
Yeah. The behemoth is giant. Oh, and I forgot, you have a hangar. So you could literally let me park.
Yep.
I have ships that are big enough. Okay. I might bring my F8 or something. I didn't get a good look. Oh, you okay?
Yep, all good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Before I leave, though, I'm going to have to get some stupid health stuff. Wasn't somebody else supposed to join us in here?
I thought I saw some other members were going to be hopping on tonight.
Yeah. Not their fault.
Yeah. Well, it is a what? Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'm going to finish up at the hall. The MX, from what I could tell, has 4 size 4 guns. It's almost the better, you know, the better base guardian, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No,
By a lot.
absolutely. It seems to be more armed, more armored.
Definitely. I mean, when it's meh, God, whatever that town is or company, Mirai Day, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
buy, instant buy. But I am noticing a lot of stuff around that wasn't around. I'm gonna finish up at the convention center. Are you in a safe place to where your Idris didn't get boomed?
Should be. I'm outside of Bajini Point.
I wouldn't stay there.
But
I would like go between Hurston and Moons somewhere.
Okay.
Just for safety reasons.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
that
Always
way I
good
could
to me.
just quantum to you. And, yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's teleporting. Hello. Hello, Mr. Teleport. Why are you bumping me? It's like somebody's moving him like a cursor. Kind of odd. Wow. Look at his brother.
I will say the Idris does turn very slowly.
Well, it's a brick. It's a brick.
It is a brick.
House. Got a lot of top hat boys in here today. He's a brick. Darn house. So, theory craft. The reason they got the Idris done is there is another ship they're working on that's as big.
I think that's safe to assume. And we, you know, with the Beijing Bar Citizen, we did get a little confirmation towards that, you know. with
They
them working on
mentioned
a
something that wasn't the Kraken, that wasn't the Javelin. Could have swore they said it isn't the fabled longbow either. Acknowledging it's a real ship.
Yeah.
The Anvil longbow, which, I may have missed that part, but I know they said Anvil something. I'm like, hold up, right? Never heard of that ship before. And they said the RSI Comet. That sounds like a very small, nimble ship, right?
Yes, it's. I believe it's supposed to be It's supposed to be like an RSI salvager, I believe.
No, they're talking combat ship.
Oh, combat. Oh, that's right. It's supposed to be the Mantis variant.
Yeah. Supposedly has better armor than the Mantis by a lot, you know?
Yeah.
It's faster too, which is strange, but it keeps the nacelle look, which I'm like, yes, Federation looking ship, please. You know?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna look at the ships that are brand new, and then I'm gonna meet you in orbit. I think I got something small enough to come to you. Good. I mean, what else can the Idris fit? It said medium. Can a Cutlass fit in it?
Cutlass should be able to fit.
Yeah, but we want something smaller, right?
Yeah, I know the Terrapin can fit. I put my F8C in it, and it had plenty of room.
That's still a pretty small ship, yeah. So here's all the new stuff, Savad, if you haven't been here yet. Here's the new Grey Cat MTC, which this isn't the Anvil ship, notice? MTC As an expert in industrial ops, Greycat understands that job site security is a vital part of any successful business venture. Hint, hint, buy base building stuff. Yes. Not only that, but to be fully effective, you need to be able to get your security personnel and their equipment to wherever they're needed most. That's why the MTC Mobile Tactical Center is such an important addition to your next venture. Nimble enough to access the difficult terrain encountered at remote ops, and equipped with enough suit lockers, weapon racks, and storage to tackle a wide host of issues. The MTC could make all the difference when it comes to turning a potential problem into potential profit. So, before I move on, I'm going to have a look at this vehicle. It's very Ursa-like, but again, it's also not very Ursa-like. Step in. So I love the seat. It's a single seat up front. So it's got size 1 and 2. Hang on, is there a door? I swear there was a door. That's strange. Well, where do you access? Oh, okay. Remote turret seats. Okay. There's a remote turret seat here. So technically it has 2 operators, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically it is 2. Here's my other Musashi ship. Besides the Guardian, here is the, where is it? The TAC in the back. But let's look at the MX first. I think we all got snookered by the initial Guardian. Is the MX? Look at this. 4 wingtip mounted size 4 repeaters. This thing could actually pose a threat to some capital ships, Savon.
For sure.
I mean, in enough numbers, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
So the MX is heavier armor, more firepower. It's not as nimble as the base Guardian, but does it need to be? No.
I mean, if anything, the MX sounds like it would be a good ship to take on, like, the PDCs.
Or at least run defenses for your...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. That's the Mirai Guardian MX. I bet it has some cool paints. Here's the Asgard. Ooh. Ooh. I have the Paladin, but I don't have the Asgard. Right?
Honestly, the Asgard does look really cool. It's one that
it's an anvil transport. So this is their answer, I bet, to the Crusader C2. It's a much more agile... Oh, look at the ramp. It's huge. This has to be big enough for an Ursa. Or even a Nova. Look at the ramp.
If I remember correctly, it can contain a Nova or even a Ballista.
Oh my god, it's huge. Okay, so it's got a fuse box here. Can't use that. What's this way? More stuff. There's seats. Okay, this is engineering, some of it. Here's the bottom under turret, right? Remote turret.
Mm-hmm.
Here's more seats. It's more straightforward, get through the ship superstructure. A lot more useful. Move, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go grab a drink.
Yeah, no worries. This is awesome. Asgard is... Oh, they're not letting us up front yet. That's curious. Oh no, some weed whackers locked the front. That's the Asgard. But what's on the other side of the tech then? Oh, Mark II Super. Okay. Okay. No. MTC, MX. Here's the... Bridge. So where's the hangar? Bathroom. Here's the crew quarters, galley stuff. Here it is. It's actually pretty big. Yeah. All right. Okay, Savad, where are you?
Okay, I'm back.
I am in the tax landing bay, which actually seems to be better planned out than the Anvil Pisces Bay and the Carrick.
Nice.
Look at this. It's got runner lights completely surrounding the inside.
Oh, yeah.
This is well designed for a small hangar. Extra small, actually. What's this way? So, this way is the engine room. Yeah, I ain't looking in those. Is this cargo? I don't think so. So we have the tax landing bay. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here's their galley for this ship. It's a little smaller, a little more Spartan than the other ship.
Mm-hmm.
The Max. And this goes down into the basement, or the deck one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost ready to join you. Armory.
Copy that.
Look at this. This is an armory, all right. That's armory. What is this? Airlock, maybe? Yeah, because here's the elevator. Where's the cargo? Oh. Isn't there supposed to be a cargo hold on this ship? Oh, it's this way. Drop bay. Here's where the drop ship part of the ship is. Look at this. Medical bay. Okay. Can I lay down? Ooh, it functions. I am damaged, so let's have a look. What tier are you?
Tier 3s, I believe.
Tier 3. Do tier 3s. Which is fine, you know, it's not like the Idris or the Polaris, right? And here, this holds 96 SCU on both sides. So, 96 in half, that is... I forget how. And look at this hangar. Look at this back end, Savad. This back end is huge. I think you can fit several tanks in here. See?
It is quite spacious. And I think the biggest you can go with that one is like maybe the Storm.
The what?
The Storm.
Probably the Storm, two of them. But even that's a decent company of ground support.
Absolutely.
Super Hornet Mark II. Military hardware. Oh, we got shinies. What is this? What are you? What are you? This is a size something torpedo. Look at these torps. There's a size 3 bomb. Look at this. Savad, here's the size 3 bombs. See them?
Yeah, I do.
These are the brand new bomb. But what's this bigger one for?
That, I believe, is the size 12 for the...
No, these are
the
5s. These are 5s.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that's the surprise ships. Let's see if there's anything new, and then I'm going to head out. So the Hammerhead, Redeemer, Harbinger, all the Cyclone stuff. I don't think there's anything super new here, so I'm going to head out. But yeah, I'm suspecting this year's bigger than anyone could feel. I'm holding true to that, Savad. Think about it. The Idris and the Polaris made it into the game this year.
Yeah.
That is 2 capital ships, not 1. 2.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's
how's it
going on?
going?
Hope you don't mind being on a stream.
We did a little bit of a mission with a friendly org. It was pretty fun.
Nice.
Hope you're okay with that, Jay.
What?
Oh, I am
He's
streaming.
streaming.
Streaming doesn't bother me none.
I was making sure because some people are like, get uptight about it, you know?
If anything, you should be saying, "Bro, I'm streaming. Watch out. Watch your mouth."
You're good. Most of my audience is fairly old.
Yeah.
But here's what me and Siva were talking about. This year has dunked into flat out conspiratory territory. We not only have 1, but 2 capital ships in the last 6 months. Be the Idris series and then the Polaris. Additions to the Nova that came out of nowhere, that Gatling. I mean, it's kind of a weird one, but it might be testing the waters with ship hardpoints, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're looking for different monetary avenues because they realize that the ships, they're going to run out of ideas for the most part in the long term.
They're thinking about more different things, you know?
But the whole blade thing, man, it's really got everyone.
A lot of people are not happy about the blades. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
The thing they're missing is they're going to be in the game in like 2 months. But what I think they're mad at is that, you know, it's not free for everybody right away.
Well, I think they also don't realize. Well, granted, this is only for like, I guess, the Warbond edition or whatever. The skin comes with the blades, so that is part of the value there.
Very true. Also, I'm kind of upset because I have an Idris, but people are showing off this Idris Thunderclap paint. Where the heck is that?
Wait, there's another paint that I don't have. I have 5 of them.
It's the same as the
there's another one.
Perseus. It's the same as the Perseus color scheme, but bigger.
How did they get it?
I don't know.
That's what we're
and
trying
that's
to figure out.
That's
if
what
it's
we're
like
trying to figure out.
Yeah, if it's like an Idris M exclusive, or if it comes with the T kit or something, we don't know.
It's got to be an exclusive.
The T kit is the red one, the red and black one.
Okay.
And then the tan one, the green kind of weird polygon camo, and the shark are all available to the pack.
Right.
And then you got the kind of blackish dark gunmetal one. That's part of the original K kit. So I don't know where this digital Thundercloud style paint came from. I'm thinking it's the Idris M.
It's got to be at that point.
Yeah, it's got to be.
But there's also that kind of plaid or regular silver one, and then like that metallic sheen one, and we don't know where those are at.
They'd probably be sold later in the year. More than likely.
Maybe it's like chairman stuff that they got for being a golden ticket holder.
That's what I was just about to say.
That's an interesting theory. Yeah.
Golden ticket holder. Yeah.
I did get my javelin, by the way.
Nice. Was it let me ask, did you have to bite the bullet and do Warbond, or was it sort
of
I
was planning to do Warbond the whole time.
Nice.
So yeah, now I got Warbond plus a coupon down to $2,600.
That's awesome.
But now I got my F8 Lightning Executive now too, so woo.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. And I'm already 66% of the way to the Origin I Executive, which is just wild to me.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
All right, let's see what we got.
So I saw those photos you posted of your Idris. It looks awesome. I just got mine, and I'm just got it loaded out and just touring it at the moment.
Yeah, it's a big boat. I mean, Idris is bigger than people think. It's huge.
It's massive.
It is massive.
She's a big girl. Can you name it yet or no?
Not,
Not
yet.
yet.
I won't be able to name it until like June.
Yeah, same.
And that brings
I'll
up the
be-
question: where's the Polaris named, yo?
Hopefully here soon.
Yeah.
I don't know where this paint came from. I mean, have y'all actually seen someone, in it?
Not yet, but I've seen it floating around online.
Then maybe it's not out yet.
It might be a rare paint. Yeah, who knows? All right,
Because
I'm
there's
heading to
3
my
paints I
hangar.
haven't seen on the store or anywhere else.
Somebody was showing a picture in Discord. I think they're personally making crap up. Maybe. Could be. You never know.
Damn, it cost me 120K to expedite an Idris.
Jeez. What do you got?
And it's still 49 minutes or 50 minutes.
I only have 1.3 mil.
Only.
Let's see what we got.
We just like I was saying, we had like a 9-man crew in the Polaris or in the Perseus, or I mean in the Idris.
Yeah.
I had the laser version, and then one other guy, he went into the Idris M. He had the Idris M, so they had a 2-man crew in the Idris M. We had 7 of us in the other Idris.
Yeah.
And we took out a player 890, a player Polaris, multiple NPC Polarises, and other, of course, things.
So I have to ask, because I heard this online, is it true that the laser can fire for almost up to a minute?
Yes, it is long.
It's a doom beam. Doom
Seriously.
beam.
It does really good against anything that's like Connie size. That is like its bread and butter, is cutting down Connie's. Oh, it slaps hammerheads in like half a blast.
It's like, are you
Half
shooting
of
at me?
Yeah.
It's like the guy takes a glare, the ship, the hammerhead beats on the Idris. Idris glares like an angry gorilla. Excuse you, right?
Essentially, it is a hammerhead killer.
Basically,
it kills it almost as quick as a torpedo blast.
That is awesome.
The T sounds like a Polaris derivative with all the torps.
But it's better because the torps have 1,000 health versus like the 80 of the normal size 10 torps. So it takes like 50 PDC shots to even destroy it.
Yeah. 50.
Which I think I may actually swap to test the torp module after this.
Did you pick that up as well?
Oh yeah.
Nice. I'll probably pick that up during IAE.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can get it year round. I think it's going to be like the other one.
True. Nice.
But what I was going to try and do is go turn in some script to Wicklow.
You should see if the Icarus is there.
The what?
The Icarus, it's the combat atlas.
Oh.
That's a new ship, a new vehicle.
It's the name of it was data mined quite some time ago, and then Execute from Inforunners was theorizing it for the longest time, and then on one of the behind the ships, they show a mission for Wicklow that briefly has the acronym for Icarus.
Isn't it IKRS or something?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, tomorrow there should be a new set of war bonds. Today was absolutely trash because it was a fucking, pardon my French,
Don't forget possible new F8s too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
It's only
I didn't
got
think about
2, right? Technically. It's got,
that.
well, 3. Piston
3 if you
Show
include the base
and
livery, yeah.
Yeah.
Piston Show and the ones you got.
What I
I have
really
the green
need
and
is
gold.
I need a Cyclone MT Warbond.
Oh! And we're only seeing the Anvil vehicle we know about. Don't forget, Anvil Day's nowhere near around yet. And that Anvil super vehicle or whatever it is. What is that? The thing that looks...
Asgard?
It's not the Asgard. It's this combat vehicle.
I'm not familiar.
It looks like a ballista, but it's way bigger guns.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be a building Atlas, but I may be wrong. I mean, what other weapons platform they have for the Atlas? They got the missile one, they got the quad gun, they got the troop carrier. I mean, what else can the Atlas really do? Make a bridge? I mean, come on.
Oh.
Maybe an E-War sort of thing.
Or
That
maybe
would
like a mine layer would be interesting for ground mines.
That would be pretty cool, but also like that would be trolled. That would be trolled so freaking hard.
Yeah.
Heading into orbit now.
Copy that.
I wonder what is the loaner for a javelin now?
That's a good question.
I believe it's the Idris P.
I already have an Idris P though. So I get 2
Now
Idrises?
you're gonna have a second. Yep.
That actually could be good because that means I can pull out the one with the torps or the laser at any point.
Yep.
Alright.
They haven't.
With that in mind, I'm actually gonna log out to menu and then check to see if that's.
I forgot
true.
to turn off.
They haven't
landing gear
updated
off.
the Matrix yet, but that's what people are predicting, and that's kind of what was said in the past.
Well, what was it before the Polaris?
It was the Polaris, yeah. I think they may wait until Invictus is over before they update it, though, because.
But how many people really honestly have javelins? You're talking about like maybe like 3,000 people.
Right.
Stupid people like me. Which I don't even want to see my credit card bill after this.
Credit card, yes. The dread of everything.
I mean, I got the cash to pay it immediately off, so I'm not worried about it.
I
But
don't
this time
have
of
it.
year, it's always hard on the wallets.
That's the problem with me. I don't have half the cash I need now. I'm flat broke already this month. Sucks. I'm having to melt stuff just to get other stuff.
No,
Yeah, my credit card company keeps increasing my credit card limit, and I think it's solely because of Star Citizen.
That's sad. That is sad.
Yeah, my credit card limit now is 50K. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, shit. They can tell you're a man with refined taste.
Yeah, no shit.
Man of fine taste.
The best part is like, you know, I only have like 10K left on my truck payment, and then I'm fucking literally completely debt free.
Hell yeah.
Almost done.
Keep plugging away, man. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely joining JMac. He's only got 100 people in his server. There we go. But yeah, no, the first outing in the Edge was pretty cool. I wish I'd recorded parts of it, but they were telling dumb jokes.
Heading for you, Savad.
Copy that.
Wait, is Legatus Navium the top? How much is that? Then
25.
is that the top though?
for now, there's actually, and this is something that I caught. There's another tier that's coming after it.
Jesus. For what, 50K?
Probably.
I mean, if it's 35, it's kind of feasible, but
It's another admiral position. But in fact, if you go to the tier list, if you go to your concierge page, actually, no, we can't see it yet because we're not there. So if you go on Spectrum, someone in the concierge posted a screenshot of it.
well, that could have been faked, though.
That is true. I feel like a dumbass for not thinking about that.
Well, like they faked John Cruz saying, "Oh, the Idris
yeah.
isn't coming," just
Yeah.
to mess with people. You know what? I bet it was John Cruz messing with people. Faked his own fake.
Yeah, dude, that would be hilarious. I mean, even Jared, I feel like would pull the rug, you know, keep us on our toes.
Yeah, after spending the money I did today, though, I'm gonna skip on the MTC. I have enough freaking LTI tokens.
I picked one up as a CCU from the Pulse.
Huh.
I wonder where they sell these torpedoes.
I'm trying to lock onto you, and
you may have to select me from the map.
oh, all right. Let's try this again.
I wonder if you could have a mixed salvo of torps with the chin turret or the Idris T.
Like have some that are EM, some cross.
That would be awesome.
That would be.
Okay, they do sell. Oh my.
They're expensive, I've heard.
Guess how much one of the most expensive ones is?
500K.
Higher.
750.
Higher.
1.2.
Higher.
1.7 million.
Almost on the dot, yeah, 1.735.
That's crazy. On a perch, Savon.
Per torp.
For one torpedo.
Holy cow.
One single torpedo. Holy Christ. And there's 6 different types of torpedoes that are size 12.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the Calamities are so expensive, but yeah, those are the expensive ones. The Executor versions are 1.6 mil. I'm wow.
That's the one that's gonna be reserved.
So yeah,
All right, Savon, I'm almost to you. 10 kilometers out.
Copy that.
I'm gonna screenshot these and send it to my buddy. Be like, hey, I need a loan.
And this is a big fighter too. It's hard to believe how wanna throttle back a little bit.
Copy that. I got the rear entrance open for you.
How do you throttle back?
Alt and mouse wheel, I believe.
There we go. Okay. That's better. Let me see. There we go. 88 meters per second. That's a little bit better.
Yes.
So if someone's shooting size 12 torps at you, they don't give a fuck about money.
No, they don't.
Wow. See,
'Cause
this
that thing
ship,
holds
this ship
20 of
is
those
going to
things.
change everything. Because this right here, this is a mobile base. This is totally different from... I'm going to try and go in... I think I have to go in the back way.
No, but yeah,
$35 million worth of torpedoes could be held in this thing.
I'm going to slow down a little further, Savad.
Copy that. You also have to realize there's also 4 already loaded in the tube, so it's 24 in total.
I thought it was 20 total. Oh shit.
No, 4 in the tube plus a magazine of 20.
God damn. Idris T is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it ain't no joke.
Try to adjust here. Yeah, I know. Proximity sensors. I think I'm lined up.
Yeah, I'm gonna claim every Idris from now on if I ever put that on.
Yeah.
Let me know, Savad.
Bring up your nose just a
I'll
tiny
be right
bit.
back.
Copy that. Oop. Lower down. Okay, that's good. That looks perfect.
Creep. Going to creep. Coming in too quick.
Okay, you're good. Yep, you got plenty of headroom.
Roger. And don't want the floodlights.
Landing gear deployed.
Sitting down.
Landing complete.
All right.
And engines off.
Welcome aboard.
What's that?
Welcome aboard.
Did I shut my engines off?
Sounded like it.
Roger. Coming aboard. Come on. I think we're frozen. No, there it goes. There we go.
Yeah, I think the server just... Oh, yeah. Okay. Server FPS dropped for a second, but it bounced back
Yeah,
up.
it did. It massively did. This is cool. Okay. So it can fit 2 F8s on. Jesus.
Quite easily. I also have a an Argo.
You do. So you have technically 3. Where's this paint? I don't reckon. Oh, it's the same as mine. So you have an Argo tractor here.
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, oh, look at this. It almost looks like on this flight deck, it's designed not for 2 fighters, but 3. Or 4, maybe.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like
I think 2 is the minimum. So, okay, control room, main deck, we go this way. These are some big suit lockers. And they open! Well, they're storage lockers. Sorry. So have you explored the ship all the way, Sivan?
I've gone through maybe about 40% of it.
It's really big. I mean,
it is.
And here we are. We're in this freaking battle barge in the middle of space.
Yeah, I love how it has so many windows that you can just look out into space.
Yeah, I mean, whenever people can chart to the edge of a system, they're just gonna say plop a course here at these coordinates and link up there. That's gonna prevent a lot of ganking during org maneuvers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I look forward to when we can just kind of.
They've mentioned something about it recently.
Go ahead and close the rear hangar.
It is fascinating how just absurd this ship is inside.
It really is. I mean, the fact that it has a firing range inside of it.
And we can't use it.
Yeah, not yet, at least.
So, and the captain's quarters here is fair. It's actually got a decent. See, here's the crew bathroom. Hey, look, I'm a vampire. Hilarious. Okay, so captain's quarters. I think that's the other one.
Right over where I'm at.
This is first mate. Yeah, see XO office? Yeah. So this is the captain's quarters. He's got his own bed, his own bathroom set up. Yeah. And the XO also seems to as well. See? That's kind of unexpected. Yeah. This is the first ship I think we've had that's 2 independent restrooms and rooms for the commanding officers. Definitely different. Oh, that's right. I haven't been to the bridge yet. I've been everywhere else.
Okay. Well, let's make our way there.
There's the pilot ready room. I don't think I've seen this room. Back here, maybe?
Oh, this goes back down to the hangar. Okay.
Oh. Pilot ready room. It might be an impromptu storage, maybe?
Okay, bridge.
The brig. Brig's also this way.
Yep.
Right here.
Which is right down there, yeah.
Holy cow, it's big. So this is the brig. Security office. Here we in there. Yeah, here's how you get in the security office. Come on, open up. Open says me. I do.
Hold on, I may have to help with that.
There it goes.
Okay, cool.
Here's the security. Yeah, there's a lot of doors.
Definitely makes the ship quite secure.
Hello? Uh-oh. Where? Uh-oh. I think my, controller froze or something.
The door's not opening for me either.
I think we're about to go 30K. That's not good.
Let's see. Server FPS 0.2.
Oof. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wait. There it goes. It's a big old glitch. Okay. Here's the security room. I can see you. And here's a chair. Any buttons I can push? Doesn't look like. Oh, cell access. You can actually control it. You can actually function the brig today. Watch this.
Nice. O2 just opened up. O3. O5.
That's interesting.
Nice. That's really cool.
What is deploy? There's a button in here that says deploy.
Huh. Is there a turret that's supposed to be in here? Like to.
Really? The anti-personnel turret came out? Where?
No. None did. I'm just curious if there would be one.
I think there is one in here. Prevent shipjackers. Interesting. So what else is down here? You see, this is the outer ring of the ship. So these are escape pods. Main deck, briefing room. Okay. The briefing room is that way. Cargo bay, engine room. So we're on B deck.
Yes. And if we head back this way, we can make it back to the bridge.
Got it. Okay. Elevator. Here we go.
Yep.
I remember this elevator. This is where that dude is standing to guard the elevator in Squadron 42. Remember?
Yes.
Standing right here. Let's see how many flights we got. Where's the button? Oh yeah, okay. It's only got one. It's only got one button. Bridge and main deck. Two main deck. Oh, there's several elevators. Okay. So I'm assuming this is for a turret. So we got remote turret 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know how long I've wanted to be on this bridge, Lavad?
Mm-hmm. Right there with you, man.
Finally here. This ship is finally in the game. Oh, I forgot you have the shark. Hey, yeah.
Yes, and also on the front is the giant size 10 laser.
You have the Exodus. Oh boy. So this is the K version, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are those the PDCs I see sticking up out of the ship?
Yes.
Okay, so I count
yes,
3 there and whatever that is and whatever that is.
So the K Idris K has a crazy amount of PDC. It has 16 in total.
Hmm.
The Idris P comes with 11 PDC, and then the K kit gives an additional 5.
That's insanity. This ship is a barge. Just
it really is.
It's incredible. I've never seen anything like that.
Can't wait for the Hollow Globe to work.
What I'm curious about is now that the Polaris is out, the Idris is out, what's next? That's the legitimate question.
Well, we heard from John Crew that the Kraken is supposed to be going into pre-production at the end of this year. So we'll probably see the Kraken out
at some point.
I'm saying
soon.
this time, probably this time, 2027.
Right.
At the latest.
At the latest. At the earliest, sometime.
I mean, if they put the resources towards it, I could see them having it out.
Honestly, the fact that we got 2 quality capital ships and variants, I have no problem they put out another solar system instead of a ship, you know? If they focused on another system like Nyx or Castra, which I don't know if you remember, but if you watched last year's SitCon, the other 2 systems are in a state of development. Castra
for
is in gray box, or was. So Nick, it's really unknown which of the two. I wouldn't be surprised if we got both of them within a short span. Castra,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Castra's kind of one of those small systems.
Yeah, it's only got the 2 planets.
Really?
And one of them's just been bombed to heck.
Yeah. It is definitely one of those things where you're watching like, hey, are we going to get... I think I can safely say Castrum more than like... Well, Castrum might get a tiny redesign. Planet-wise. 2 planets around a big star like that. Kind of...
I could definitely see it maybe getting several more like moons added to it.
Moons, maybe a dwarf planet.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see a large number of planets. Maybe one more, you know? Like a Castra 3, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe something that's...
They could probably throw a gas giant in.
Maybe. I'd rather have a super Earth, you know, that's uninhabitable. You know, something like so yeah, it's debatable we're gonna get I know Castra's out of the question for this year because we've heard no news on it. Apart from being in gray box. Maybe next summer Castra arrives. 07 Bears, how are you tonight, sir? We are cruising through here. Oh, shoot. We are looking around the bridge of Savad's brand new Idris. Which one is this? The K?
The K, yeah.
This is Savad's Idris K. Welcome to the bridge of the UES Stanton 2.
In fact,
I am joking, of course. But, and then we have a lot of the outstanding mysteries. What's that?
Oh, I was just going to be charging up a laser.
Wow. Oh, wow. There's the Exodus. There's the Doom laser, folks. What's the
just
range
showcasing
on
how the range is 5 kilometers.
Holy cow! It's going for a minute.
I've only gone through half of its munitions for it.
That's insanity. It's almost like that thing can be used for bombardment.
Yeah, for sure. Another cool thing I've heard about this laser is it uses the same tech as the salvage lasers. So after you break through an enemy's shield, it will actually strip the whole of the ship.
Oh, so it's basically a salvage beam.
Yeah, pretty much. So you will see the stripped damage of whatever you hit it with.
That's insanity. Yeah. So the captain's seat is here. Where's X? Okay, co-pilot, pilot. So you need 2 pilots for this.
And then you have weapons stations here.
Security seat. This is weapons. What's
Not sure what this one.
this one's unmarked? It says this one. That's crazy.
It is.
Okay, so remote turret 1, 2, again, 3, and 4. And then we have a few more in addition to these turrets. And remember, Savad, this is just the bare bones Idris.
Yep.
And people think this ship is big. I raise you the Javelin.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
Javelin is going to make this ship look tiny.
It really is. And I mean, to think one day we're going to have Bengals that we can manufacture and be able to
Manufacture
run and use.
over multiple months.
Oh, for
Now,
sure.
There's no. What is this? Oh, the docking collar.
Yes, actually, I think it's supposed to become an escape pod, like we saw with the Javelin.
That's awesome. So
Yeah,
this
to allow
could be
for the crew.
debatable right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I know, Bears. So cool, right? It's big enough. Let's show them the hangar.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's big enough, Bears, to stow and what is this?
Maintenance patch, I think. Actually, I have no clue.
Let's open her
someone-
up. Let's see what it is.
Ah, yeah, maintenance.
Relay access. Okay. This is maintenance. You know, somebody could hide in here. Several somebodies. Do you notice the music is weird?
I actually have my music turned off at the moment.
Turn on the music. I've never heard this music. What is this music we're hearing?
That's weird. It's not playing for me.
It is on my stream, but I've never heard it before. Maybe leftover from 42? Maybe?
Possibly.
Okay, here's the cargo grid. Right?
Yep.
Here's
We
the
can
cargo
actually take this
vader,
to get down.
and where does this go?
We can take this down to the deck.
Let's go.
Maybe if it decides to.
If it decides to work, right?
Yes. All right.
Oh, you intend to play today, huh? Or when you can? He intends to jump on tomorrow. Probably a good idea.
Very
because-
nice.
Okay, here's the hangar.
Hope you.
Bears. As you
Yeah,
can
hope
see,
you've been
it's at
enjoying it,
least
Bears.
big enough. As you can see, it's at least big enough for 3 F8 Lightnings. With room for an Argo cargo to spare. Down here. Now, where's the lower?
Lower hangar. Let's see.
Follow
Go
you?
through here. Yeah, follow me.
This is a quality ship release. Unlike the
And we head
Polaris,
down
where
here.
they snookered the captain's quarters for a bit.
We have another turret location right there.
Turret location there. That's probably the undersling turret.
And here we go.
There's the MPUV hangar. I've actually heard a Pisces can fit.
Oh yeah, definitely could fit in here.
Insane.
Here, let me open it up. If you
Oh
want
shoot!
else.
Ooh, yeah. Kind of hot in here. Who wants to go for? No, 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 no. Yeah. I do
And then
not want to
another-
go for a trip.
Yeah.
That'd be a long
And then
way down.
And then interesting over here, we have like a little work.
I
area.
noticed this. Look at this. It says engineer access only. What's that about? And then tools, cables, lock release. Lock release. And then we got this drill and wrenches, and I don't even know what that other tool is by the wrench. Screwdrivers, ratchets, shears, and some wrenches. That's really... Oh, that's the hanger control. And we also have suit lockers. So I'm thinking this might be a small bench. Where's medical?
Medical's upstairs. We'll take a look at that in a second. This one's
what is this?
A cool one.
Oh, the gravity room.
Yes.
Look at the distortion effect by it.
And it's cool because you can come in here and you can close the gate, and it's just...
That is cool. Oh, that's a cool game. That is awesome sounding.
Terminal, yeah.
The precinct, does it work? No, doesn't work yet. That's curious.
Yeah.
Bears says he grabbed a game called The Precinct. Got hooked. It's like old school GTA, but you're the cop.
Interesting.
That's an interesting option. The sphere. Yeah, that's my other thought. I was like, where's the monsters? I saw that and I was like, yeah, uncomfortable feelings returning. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And I actually think, despite what people think, the base Javelin might be within 18 months. If this is out, which is a squadron asset, Savad, the Javelin is probably sooner than we think.
Yeah, I think we're going to see it within the next 18 months for sure.
John Crew is going to say next year is going to surprise some people. Like, you thought the Javelin was the only destroyer. Ta-da! New ship. Mr. Magico Presto Changeo, brand new shippo.
Cargo bay.
That's all.
Trying to find where's that elevator.
The briefing
again?
room's familiar.
Yes.
Thank you for your time, Mr. What's his face. It was only $25. Wow. Go in here a minute, because here,
the
people
room,
who people who've seen the stuff. Oh, ooh, hologram.
Yeah, I'm hoping that one day we'll be able to swap this out and
this is cool.
Do some cool stuff with that.
Yeah, there's got to be some way to interact with it. Well, this is a holo viewer. Hang on, let's see what this unit says. Doesn't say anything there, but I'm pretty sure this is some sort of transmitter. And this is a theater. I think mocap is going to have a field day with this.
Oh, for sure.
Ouch. So yeah, my theory with Javelin, we're seeing new modules, Savad, because they're working up to the Javelin modules.
Oh, hold on. Let's stop in here.
Stop in where?
Right here.
Engine room.
If you'll...
Oh yeah, another Squadron 42 place. Scanning.
It's a decontamination.
That's awesome. So these are the engine cores?
Yes.
That's
That's all good. All right. Let's go find medical. My character is almost dying of thirst.
Yeah, mine's getting a little low too. I might have to eat something too.
Bay, brig. Mess hall. Pilot ready.
Which
Captain's
we don't even know what
quarters.
that is. I don't think it's fleshed out yet. Medbay.
All right, med bay.
Probably not that door. Cargo bay. Now this looks very Apollo-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's a medical. Can we open this? Can't. Open this door. So in this medical office, we have 2 doors. Huh. Check this out. It's running a diagnostic right now. It says overhead module smoke test. That's curious.
That is.
So there's the medical room. What is this? Is this the tier 1?
Yes, it is, and I have to say, it works really, really fast compared to a tier 3.
So we have a tier 1 and multiple tier 2s. Hang on, I'm gonna go.
I believe these are tier 3s in here.
So those are tier 3s, and this is a tier 1.
Yes. Yes.
By the way, do you notice it says operating theater?
Yes, it does.
It is slightly disconcerting.
Oh yeah, it's
Hey
I have a
Jimmy,
feeling-
your wife's in the medical theater for operation. Jeez, what? Right?
Exactly. I mean, when prosthetics become a thing, it's going to be awesome.
Prosthetics where?
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah. This is a capital ship, Bears, yes. This is a frigate class capital, right?
Yep.
Cargo, which is rather small for this ship. I only think this is for perishables, maybe?
Yeah, although there's a lot of speculation. This room right here is you can't get into it yet, and people are suspecting that there will be a air dock on the top where ships can drop supplies in, and then they can be brought into here.
Yeah, this room is sealed off. What is in this room? That is cryptic. Is there any way into that room?
No, at the moment not.
Hey, yes there is, right here. Check this out. This goes into that area. But I'm seeing like missing doors and shit.
We've got suit lockers, and then above us is an EVA hatch.
Look here, a door a window, some sort of unit. What is this?
Yeah.
That's really weird. Okay. Kind of weirded out by that. Docking collar.
Ooh, and then yeah,
This is the egress point between both sides of the ship.
And you can see the ships down in the hangar.
I mean, this ship is huge.
Yep. Okay, the mess hall.
I'm just surprised it takes so long to get around this. Now, this looks like a scene from the latest trailer. But remember, that was the Javelin mess. This is the Idris mess hall, right?
Yep.
So does okay? It opens up into space. Look above.
Yep, we got. Oh yeah,
These
the
are
windows.
all
That's right.
TVs.
And then straight up we have the windows.
That's cool.
It really
The patch is running pretty good, we'll admit. We haven't had any issues, have we, Savon? Maybe a little slowdown here and there? Not
Yeah, a
too
couple
bad.
stutters.
Yeah. So, were you just wanting to look around your ship tonight?
Pretty much. I got an early morning tomorrow. Got to go out down to the airport.
We can talk for a little bit longer before you get off. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
like I said, though, this Idris is already out now. And when people say, oh, it's people say I wouldn't be indicative of anything, I disagree. This is a big indicator of things to come. Just
Well, I
think
mean, it's
about
like we haven't even shown everything yet. Like,
and this
right
isn't
now,
even, this isn't even halfway through the year.
yeah. And here we have the shooting range and the armory.
Yeah, this is where that dude is sitting usually. He's like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Can't open it. Can you open this? Oh, there
we go. Yeah.
It's on the desk. Trying to read it. I've never seen a gun like that before. That Dimico? That looks a little different. Have a look.
It does look a bit different.
Must be a different model. What I'm hoping we get in the verse are like skill ranges. You know, not just a weapons range, but do targets actually pull up?
Not yet, no.
But you can actually shoot in the air.
Yeah.
So
you
it
can
is
shoot in here.
partially functional. Right?
And yes, and also you can. It takes a little
Yeah,
bit of running and jumping, but there's extra weapon storage back here behind this counter.
Oh, okay. This ship properly, I would say you would need 8 people, maybe to operate the bridge. How many do you think for the turrets?
I mean, if you're looking just to operate all the weapons with the pilot, not like no engineering, six people, 7 people in total.
Right. But if you're like wanting fully crewed to the point where you have security in case of borders and pilots, it's closer to 20.
Actually, it's more than that. It's 28.
Yeah. And then you include the pilots for the fighters. So 30. This is the start of massive multi-crew. And it's
escape rafts.
It's gonna radically change how things operate.
It really is. It really, really is. Hey, why don't we blow something up?
Okay.
I'm going to run down to the hangar, and I will put that little Argo out in front of the ship, and then let's blow it up with the laser.
Oh!
And
You
see
want
how
me to open
quickly
up the
it
hangar
pops.
for you to get in? I'll open up the hangar for you to get in. That way, you don't have to backtrack all the way through the belly of the damn ship. Hang on, I'm going to try to find that. Woodworking, 30, that sounds like fun. Yeah, it's going to take coordination for ships this size. For ships this size, you're going to need coordination majorly big.
Absolutely.
Where's the elevator that goes?
You're headed towards it. I'm right beneath you in the flight ready room. So keep heading the way you were heading. And then it'll be the flight ready room.
Mess hall, captain's quarters, med bay, starboard. 30 is crazy, I'll admit. Cargo bay, med bay again. Escape pod's turret. Med bay. I think I'm on the wrong side of the ship.
I mean, honestly, it is very easy to get lost.
Oh
Alright,
my
I opened up the
gosh.
front hangar.
People are gonna have to get used to this ship. I mean, I own one, but it doesn't mean I'm an expert on the interior yet.
Yeah.
People are going to have to... Okay. So head toward the bridge. That's our... So head around. Bridge missile. Briefing room. Elevator. I'm lost.
All good, all
Gaze,
good.
Escape pods. Hang on, I think I might be this way. I'm over by the shooting range.
Okay. I got the ship, the Argo, out, and I'm EVAing back to the ship.
I'm lost. Oh
I
my
believe you
God.
can set map points on the map.
Yeah. Okay. There should be like a second stair level. Where? Hold on.
You're
Let's
gonna
pull-
you want to keep your eye out for
Let me
either
pull
the
up my
flight
map.
ready room
What's
or
that?
the control room. You're gonna keep your eyes out for either the control room or the flight ready room.
Okay, I'm near one. I'm near stairwell. Am I right? There we go. Down we go. I made it.
Okay.
I think it's cool that you can get lost today. Well, yeah. And we're learning here, you know? We're
Yep.
learning how to maneuver around and yeah.
I mean, if you want, once you get out to the hangar, hop on out and take a look at this laser because it's pretty sick from the outside.
What am I doing?
Just hop on out the front of the ship and just EVA over to where I'm at. I mean, this laser is absolutely huge.
Whoa! That's the laser?
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's bigger than 2 people put together.
I mean, that's probably like almost the size of like
Cutlass. No bigger.
yeah,
Ample Valkyrie,
yeah,
maybe
maybe
a
even
Redeemer?
a freelancer or a Valkyrie.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That Exodus laser is definitely worth it. Woo, be careful.
Yep, gravity.
You die?
No, luckily I did not die, but gravity apparently
Yeah,
takes effect.
it
right
does,
there.
apparently. I saw that. That was kind of funny.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, if you want to land, you have to land right in this little middle section.
Wow. Oh, shoot. I am inside the laser barrel. This is fun. Wow. Okay, so head straight. Straight. Wee! Ooh. Shoot. Hang on. Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, I got to land for this little island right here.
Ah.
No.
Ron Jeremy of Starship. Wow. And now I'm just pogoing. Hey. Can you tractor beam my sorry ass from there? Woo!
Let me try.
Hang on, I'm gonna... You might have to step back into the ship a bit. Here I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop moving.
Nope, it will not let me.
I'm too heavy?
No, it won't let me even select you.
Crazy. Hang on, I'm gonna try to rush it from here.
Yeah, maybe you just need some speed.
This thing does not like me. Oh, I do like the tiger striping.
Oh, that was close.
That was funny though. I just
Here,
togoed and
let me open up the back, the back side.
oh, there we go! Yay! I made
You
it.
got it. Nice.
Yes,
Nice. Okay.
I made it. I did.
All right.
I did it. Okay. And we're gonna go to.
We're gonna head up to the bridge, and you know what? Go ahead and head up to the bridge. I'm gonna put my F8 out there, so we'll have 2 targets.
So we'll see which vaporizes quickly.
Yeah. And I'll let you have the honors of destroying the ships.
Okay. I'm a little hesitant, but okay. Heading up?
Yep, heading out.
I head for the bridge elevator.
All right. And both ships are on and have their shields on as well. So
Wait.
we'll see how quickly it can punch through those.
Hey, no problem, Bears. It was good to see you. Have a good night, man.
Take it easy, man.
Where's the damn elevator? Mess hall, control room. Control room, maybe? Bridge. There we go. Okay. Hey, you have a good night, Bears. Get some sleep, buddy. The main deck. It's really weird seeing a huge ship like this totally vacant. Nobody
Right.
on board. You know?
It really is.
It's unnerving. A ship like this with nobody on board. Oh! There are sideways to the bridge besides the what do you call it? Yeah. Let me know when you're
elevator?
back on the
Yeah.
show.
Okay. Not yet. I'll let you know. Okay. Okay, I'm on.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna wait so you can position. I don't think you can fire from the pilot seat.
You can.
You can fire from the captain's?
Or not captain's, the pilot.
Okay. I'm gonna get in the pilot, and you're gonna get in the co-pilot, right?
Yeah, making my way to the bridge right now.
So there we go. Oops, sorry, I moved. You okay?
All good. Yep, all good. Bridge.
So what do we got? Weapon configuration. Shields. It is 500 shields. Well, gimbal fixed. Management.
All right, on the bridge.
How do I charge?
It's just left click and hold once you point at.
So, okay, so target. There's the F8 targeted, and I'm going to point the spinal laser directly at it, right?
Yep.
The left click.
All right, aim up a little higher.
Okay. There we go. Am I moving?
You're rotating.
There we go. Wow. That was pretty quick. And that was an F8, folks.
That was like 1.5 seconds.
Wasn't even that much. So let's lock on at 800 meters. Oh, oops. That was an F8.
That's crazy. And that was full strength, the shields, too.
The shields is melted. This is insane. And melt. That wasn't even a second. That was like ghost fart.
Not surprised with that one, but that's hilarious.
Well, yeah, just vaporize. This sucker, this guy is going to be a terror to things Constellation and bigger.
Oh, absolutely. And looking at the wreck of the F8, like, it's glowing. Yeah, like on my screen, I kind of see like these scorch marks on it.
Even on the Argo, I kind of see scorch crap. That's incredible. That's some heat. I don't know what I think about that. That's just insanity.
It really is. Like, this thing is
going to fundamentally change how the game operates.
Absolutely.
But there's the F8 debris. Yeah, it's vaporized. Look at that.
Yeah. Literally, it's like pulsating orange.
Fire. The Argo thing is just melted too.
Yeah.
Dang. I guess you got to go to bed here pretty soon.
Yeah, I gotta hop off.
We'll talk for a couple minutes. I'm going to get off game, but we'll talk for a few minutes and then we'll call it for the night.
Sounds good.
But yeah, that's just... People are going to need some time to figure out strategies with that ship. Because it's unlike anything else released.
Yeah. And just the amount of defenses that it has, like, it will take several Polarises to take out one of these things, especially if they have the K kit and have the additional 5 PDCs. This thing is going to just absolutely eat missiles and torpedoes and small ships alive.
And this is just the Idris. The Kraken. The Kraken, a lot of people are like, it ain't going to have the same amount. I'm like, dude, There's,
I mean, the fact that they're reconcepting the Kraken, like they're going to be adding PDC, they're going to be adding medical, like so much is going to be coming to that ship.
yeah, I think the Kraken's going to change for the better. In terms of my redesigns, I'm not happy about the Pioneer one, but I understand why they did. You know, I understand
For sure.
why. I mean, we may not be completely super happy about it, but it's you know, it's sadly
It is what it is. Yeah.
it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
people may not like it, but it's going to be interesting going forward. Like I've said for years, I think Star Citizen is going into a golden age. It's one of these games that history's going to come back on and smile.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know when that will be, but I mean, that vaporizing laser, Jesus.
It is insane. It is impressive.
The sheer power of that beam. It makes me wonder if you can use it to damage more than ships, but like installations down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. It's powerful enough to hit shields like that. And what would stop base defense? That wouldn't stop base defenses. No. There's no stopping that.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things to where they're going to have to create like size 15 torpedoes, just keep going higher and higher.
Yep.
Because, eventually there will be a cutoff to what players can use, but
players can use with owning the item.
Yeah.
Like there'll probably be event pieces that we're able to borrow, like the giant beam stations or whatever. Because when you think about it, that space station, an orbital laser array, like that,
Yeah.
that hints at potentially weapons platforms we will not have full control over.
Well, and it's like once we start getting to like player-owned space stations and things like that, who knows what type of weaponry those things could have.
I mean, it's going to be interesting.
For sure.
Let me see. Chat, I appreciate everyone for hanging around for 3.5 hours. Savad and I thank you. I'm gonna raid somebody on Twitch. Oh, here we go. Let's raid Tree. We appreciate you, everybody. And we'll see you around. From Axis and Fleet Ready Gaming, this has been Axis signing off. Have a good night, folks.